On Thursday, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, D.N.Y., took to the House floor to deliver a powerful response to Representative Ted Yoho, R-Fla, after he aggressively confronted her outside the Capitol, then delivered a non-apology defending his own behavior. She called out the ongoing acceptance of violence and violent language against women, inside and outside of politics. The 30-year-old congresswoman detailed how earlier in the week, while walking up the steps of the Capitol, Yoho called her disgusting, crazy, out of her mind, and dangerous, for suggesting that poverty and unemployment numbers are causing an increase in crime in New York City during the pandemic. When Ocasio-Cortez told the congressman he was being rude, he walked away, calling her a-f-ing b, which was overheard by nearby reporters outside the Capitol. Admitting that she was not hurt or deeply offended by Yoho's comments because she's encountered this type of harassment before, Ocasio-Cortez said she wanted to address Yoho's Wednesday apology where he said that, having been married for 45 years with 2 daughters, I'm very cognizant of my language, and that he apologized if his words were misunderstood. I could not allow my nieces, I could not allow the little girls that I go home to, I could not allow victims of verbal abuse and worse to see that excuse and to see our Congress accept it as legitimate and accept it as an apology and to accept silence as a form of acceptance, Ocasio-Cortez said, while adding that having a daughter or a wife does not make a man decent. Ocasio-Cortez's speech has since inspired other women in politics to come forward in her defense and to share their own experiences of dealing with sexism and violent remarks. Violence against women in politics specifically is a global problem, Representative Rashida Tlaib, DMI, said on the House floor following Ocasio-Cortez's speech. I know. I would invite any of my colleagues across the aisle to answer the calls into my office for just one day to hear the vile sexist remarks made about me and other women serving in this chamber. Representative Ilhan Omar also chimed in and came to Ocasio-Cortez's defense, while explaining that like many other women, she too has experienced ongoing acts of sexism and violent remarks made towards her. In this body, we have seen men who are afraid of Muslim women like me and Rashida Tlaib because we say proudly that you cannot ban us from this country because we pray differently than you, she said. In a separate news conference, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi weighed in on her experiences with sexism in politics saying, "It's a manifestation of attitude in our society really. I can tell you that firsthand, they've called me names for at least 18 years of leadership.